Bob White. Bob White. Back adder. We're just gonna start hanging some parts, I guess. I got a whole cab full of parts in here. So we're just gonna start like putting shit on. No real direction, just yeah. Put some door panels on, I got some dye, we're gonna paint them up. We're gonna put our 1-ton master on, we're gonna get our coil packs all on our new mounts. Got like a water pump. I think our intake's showing up today. So we're just gonna do some general assembly. Brake master installed. Now we're putting these coils on. I took them over in the sink and washed them with soap and water and my wife's scrub brush, so I'll probably get help for that. But make sure we get all the water out of the plug. Put a little dielectric grease in there when we put our harness back on. So these aren't necessary, but they're pretty cheap and they really clean things up. So why not? Got all our little holes welded up. Welded up and ground down. Not really caring if I make the paint pretty because we're going to hit it with some undercoating too. So just run the shit out of it. Yeah, get there, okay. You want to grab 4 half-inch bolts with 4 washers. We got some China headers in the mail. These are like S10 conversion headers. They're in there. I had to beat the crap out of them. I'll have to beat them up some more probably, but they work. Usually I run the block hugger ones that just kind of come right down through there, but I couldn't find those with V-bands on them. And it actually doesn't really matter because I had to cut the V-bands off these ones to get them in there. So pretty whatever. Anyway, they'll work. We'll make them work. Yeah, so we're gonna pull this intake off, reseal the valley, put a knock sensor harness on it, and then permanently install the intake manifold. That's today's little project before we head to work. And we're gonna play around with, we got the bed fully mounted. We got our fuel cell and battery box and stuff. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna get all this stuff in here. I want to mount this toolbox sideways against the back of the cab and the battery box over there, but it's a little too wide, so I'm gonna see if I can find a smaller box. So I'd like to get all that stuff mounted so we can start running battery cables and start wiring on this thing. I think the kid's working on, he got the door panels dyed up and he's getting some little interior pieces painted. And we ordered seats, so we're gonna try to get the inside of this thing a little further along. So yeah, Here we go. Ooh, seats. Seats, and I'm too lazy to make my own brackets. It's pretty cool that Corbeau makes a seat bracket for like everything. I got Corbeaus in my buggy. They're a little tight, but I like them. So we decided to go with the Baja RS, since this thing's going to be a little more of a trail rig. I wanted the recline feature, but I also wanted the holes in the seat to hold the seat belts. Let's get you in here. Start unpackaging. I think it's one of the nicer ones, and it's actually probably one of the cheaper ones. I think they're around 800 bucks for the pair, with the sliders and everything. Like, literally just bolt them in. It was like, I think it was free shipping, but tax with sliders, seats, everything's like $1,000. It's a chunk, but I like to be comfortable on the trail. Okay. What do we got here? That? Got some Allens. All right, pretty easy. It's like 4 Allen bolts, and then this one. Oh, that's on upside down. Ah, there we go. Oh God. Don't scratch them up. God forbid. They ever get dirty or scratched. Okay, well, that's it. These all go in the factory holes. Well, I'll go clean this cab out and get her in there. Okay, I was rocking out there. Forgot to turn the radio off, so a little voiceover action. Got the water pump on, got the power steering bracket on, alternator bracket, looking sexy. Back here we got the toolbox mounted, battery box mounted, like my vice grip trick to hold the bolts while I put the nuts on underneath by myself out here. So, and yeah, we got a fuel cell in the mail. Didn't come with a way to mount it, so I built these little tabs. We're gonna get them welded on. I got a Walbro 525 pump, got a RCI pump hanger, filler, rollover vent combo thingy. So we'll get that all dialed in, get that installed. Got our throttle cable on. It's a stock 3rd gen 3.4 4Runner throttle cable, bolts right into the factory cab. A little long, so I ran it underneath the intake manifold, but that's gonna work good, and it's a factory part, so that's cool. So I just gotta order a little hanger bracket that goes in between the throttle body and the intake. Battery box installed. I don't really like this Moroso one. They give you these little goofy fasteners. The one I got in the C10, the studs come up extra long, and this top is like flat, and you can just, or no, it's got a nutsert
That's right, it's got a nut cert. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll drill a couple different holes and put a nut cert and a bolt. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how these work out. I'd like it to be to where I can take this thing off on the trail without any tools, so maybe we'll weld a little, I don't know, come up with a wing nut or something. Anyway, it's in there. You'll have to believe me, I guess. There's a yellow top in there. So next thing is we're gonna put a fuel cell in this area. And hopefully we got enough room for a shock tower. Oh boy. Anyway, fuel cell, we're getting this all ready to go. We got rid of this little filler that came with it. We're doing an in-tank pump. So I like just buying these from RCI. They're all set up. It's got a rollover vent, which I took out. But so we'll just go ahead and put that in there. We got her all cut out. We got our holes drilled. We're getting ready to set up our fuel pump height. Just kind of set it on there and pick your holes that you want for your hanger. And it's as simple as hose clamping that, putting your sock on there. Nothing to it. Okay. Pump set up. I labeled the top because once it's in there we'll probably forget. Anyway, got some Parker push lock 350 psi hose. Hopefully it'll hold up to the fuel. The one they sent with the kit was too short. Return, I just kind of tossed it down there. Yeah, anyway, that'll work. Let's get this tank all cleaned out and get it all installed. We gotta put our rollover vent back in. Okay, we're all cleaned up. We got our fuel pump thingamajig installed. Now we got 2 rollover vents. We'll have to probably cap all these. Anyway, that all looks pretty good. Missing a nut. That's cool. Anyway, say the word anyway a lot. 20 gallon. So there's no feet on this thing. So we're gonna weld some on.